Right. Okay, guys. So YouTube is streaming as well. Slowing down is tough. So you're the same as me, Francis. Guys, how do you find presenting? Do you like being on camera? Is it something that you're trying to get better at? Are you struggling with the tech aspect of being on camera and doing lives? Put it in the chat. Oh, or you're all good. You're confident. I can see lots of Karens there. Francis is there. You've all been on camera. Patricia, I'm not sure I've seen you. Just slowing down is my so you're like me, Francis. You just go at 2,000 miles an hour. It's really hard, isn't it? I have the added problem that I tend to shout as well. Because it's a good thing. It's a good thing to emphasize something. um Zoe's trying but not great. Do you know what, Zoe? You might be surprised, because in your own eyes, when you look back at things and you go, I could have done that better, or oh, I'm not very good on camera. But actually, when you do it with other people, people just go, wow, you're really good. What's the problem? You know, um, it's the same thing. Yeah, yeah. So Rakesh is saying same. Always trying to slow down and refine. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're always trying to get better at what you're doing, um, and making sure that you're not just giving too much. Because it's like, it's not with these long, especially if you're doing 8 hours, guys. Imagine doing 8 hours. Just you guys imagine, right? If you and I remember the first. Rakesh remembers this well. The first one, the first one that I did of office hours, I did 8 hours, and literally killed myself because I was super excited. It was the first day with Zenler, and I just went crazy, and my voice just suffered because of it. So it's a problem. And actually, I had COVID, and since COVID, my voice has never been as good as it was. I've got this kind of thing, and it's really strange. Lemon juice and ginger works. Absolutely amazing. And lots of water. So Patricia's like, YouTube is working. Yeah, I'm glad you picked me up on that. But I always do base checks. This is what I said. Like, if you've got a co-host, it's really easy. You can say, co-host, can you manage the chat? Can you manage the YouTube? Can you make sure everything's going through fine? And they tell you. But when you're running it live, I've got to talk to you and entertain you guys. And I can't just stop and go, when something first starts. So with YouTube, for instance, in this case, although I start the stream, I didn't hit the going live. So I've gone live. We're still at the beginning. It's all good. You guys should all see it inside there. So yes, I've got Sarah in there. Good morning. I'm fine. I'm fine in your group, but hate doing lives. Oh, okay, Sarah. So you're fine in your group. You find coming on camera on our lives, but you just don't like doing it yourself. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I remember we got a lot of training on how to help yourself with broadcasting, with actually doing things. And I think that that's something that we want to do as well. We want to do a live workshop where we get you guys to do a 1 minute to 5 minute presentation on your business. And we'll give you feedback on how well we think you did. And we might even just say off the cuff, because that's an art form in its own right, being able to not work to a script. You often see people like this. They're reading from a script. Me and Kevin in particular don't use scripts at all, and Rakesh doesn't as well. We use bullet points, so we make sure we cover the points we're going to cover. Or we have, and this is great, this is a great little hack, is to have a Canva template set up and basically bullet point it off and work your way through them. This way it always gives you a lead on. Don't write a script. Don't write something like, hello guys, welcome to a day with Zenler, and have it all scripted. That's just crazy. Just have your bullet point, welcome to Zenler, explain what it's about. Then you move on to housekeeping, so those kind of things can draw you through really nicely. So Zoe's saying that would be useful. Yeah, I think it's a really good one, because then you get, you're in our safe little environment. Maybe we'll do that closed and won't stream it. but then maybe stream it afterwards with consent, so that we can so that you feel extra relaxed and comfortable. And then we might switch it on to live and then say, okay, now do it. And see. But it's all a case of relaxing. Like, guys, look, the thing is, what I always find, my comfort place is knowing what I'm doing. If I didn't know Zenler, I would feel very uncomfortable. There's always ways around it, though. It's like we say, like even with our demo, you know, our demos and our onboarding, and we're going to do some of those later, is if you don't know the platform, so our demos and our onboarders, they don't necessarily have to know every side of the platform. They just need to show you around the platform. They're not there to answer educationally based questions or technical questions. They're there to show you what features are available to you, and we have resources to put people to. So if you don't know the answer, you can say things like, well, it's absolutely fine. That question can be answered in our live support desk that runs every Thursday at 4 p.m. GMT time. You see, so you can learn how to be, but it's being comfortable saying those things that's really, really important. I'm not sure about relaxed. Sorry. What's housekeeping, Caroline saying? English is not nice. Oh, okay. So housekeeping would normally be, you know, like you get someone to come in and clean your house for you and make everything, polish everything and tidy it up. It's that. So we're using that as a kind of way of saying to you, your site, you can clean it up and make it look good. That's what we're doing. Yeah, just that, as Rakesh says, Caroline, just the checklist while running a live. Yeah, really, really important checklist, bullet points. I'm a bullet point person. Sometimes I just go, haven't got any bullet points for this. I've just got my agenda because I wanted to make it, I like things to be raw, and I like things, funny enough, to kind of go wrong. Yeah, that sounds really weird. You think, oh no, if it goes wrong, that's really uncomfortable. I won't know what to do. But I like those times because it's real, you know. And so many times we see that people go wrong and they go to pieces. They really go to pieces. Where actually you should be trying to explain, well, okay, this has gone, why has this gone wrong? This is something that you could have. So when things go wrong, it's a chance for you to better yourself. Okay. So Caroline's, yeah, it's all right. It's COVID. Yeah, thanks for. Yeah, okay, right. Okay. So Karen said, I've been sending tutorials before. I bought it 4 years ago. Love that you have so many resources. Yeah, we do. We have a ton of resources for you. So we're probably too many. If you look at the tutorial site now, we've simplified it because we've had so many courses in there. People were like, I don't know where to go. There's so much. So we broke it down into 4 different areas. We had the marketing side was a big one for our users because we know, as Rakesh will say himself, like it's the #1 pain point of people, and it is of our instructors actually making any money. And we often get it all the time. We had it Nicola the other day. I think she was on the live support desk and she mentioned like, oh, okay, so how do I get more? The question was, how do I make more sales? So you guys could say the same. So how do I make more sales? Marketing. Okay, so it's marketing. So you need to, all marketing is, in a word, is shouting to as many people as you can get in front of your product. And it really doesn't matter where they come from. So I see, and I was talking about this today, I see a lot of people that don't like Facebook. I see a lot of people that don't like social channels. And that is a personal preference, isn't it? It's a personal preference. It's not a business decision. There's a big difference. And this is so important that you realize for your business, you need to be on the social platforms because that's where people see it. The other thing is that, again, people don't realize, but search engines pick up on social posts. So you're gaining traffic, not just in the social platform, but off of it as well. So inside the search engines. A classic example of this is what Zenler did with the community. Rakesh decided, and this is not an easy thing to do. right? He decided that he would get the posts inside of a public community to start being listed on the search engines. So that's what he did, and he's done it. And that means that you now got user contribution. So you've got people that write nice long posts about something, or a success story, if you've asked them to share their success stories about a course they've taken of yours. That then appears, or could appear, on the search engines for extra traffic to come in. You know, the same would apply with a Facebook group. Not so much a closed one like we've got. It's very close, this one. But in a public Facebook group, the same thing will happen. People will talk, share it, people will join, and same with Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and the rest of them. So if you've made a personal decision that you don't like for data privacy and all of the things, not to be on Facebook, not to be on YouTube or the social channels, that's your personal decision. And I respect that, but that's not a business decision. And that's the big difference. So for your business, you should be on all of these. Caroline, sorry, yeah, I went off route, but that is what I'm saying to you. It's like it just like that's your decision. I understand, I respect your decision, but it's not a business decision. Is a business decision is to get your site, your courses, and everything on as many platforms as you can within reason. Choose ones that are the most successful and nurture those to build your success. That's all it is. Again, it's shouting about it. So guys that don't like, anyone that watches this, and hopefully people that are not in the Facebook group will be watching this on the YouTube channel, then maybe that will change their decision. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a lot of data sharing, because you could set up another email address. You can go in, you could even call yourself a different name if you wanted to, and then you could set yourself up. I'll give you a classic case of this. My wife, she doesn't use Facebook. She has a Facebook account. She just has her friends, actually just her sister, really, okay, who's in Italy. So she just uses it for that. She has a Zenler account for Facebook because that's business, but she doesn't deal or go in do Facebook at all. She doesn't like it, but she knows for her business that's what she would have to do. Probably because I've preached about it enough, you know. So we've got Patricia, yeah, you can ask questions. We have a Q&A section at the end. We have got 2 hours, so we've got a lot of time here. So remember asking questions on what we're talking about in this session, okay? Outside of this session, don't ask technical questions. Don't ask things on marketing funnels if we're not covering them in the session, and then we're absolutely fine. But I'll tell you, if you come in and ask that question, I'll go, sorry, I'm not covering that because it's not in this session, okay? So, Caroline is, well, it's a tutorial to do that. Yeah, we have actually, we've got a tutorial, we've got the basic marketing course, and that's in our tutorial site. And I think that doesn't really cover so much about if you should join a social or not, it just covers what you should do. You said social media is like putting an ad in a newspaper. Brilliant tip. Now I post more. I don't think I used that, did I? Newspaper, but that's a good one. I'm stealing that, Karen. Thank you. I'll steal that one from you. I like Kevin's one the other day when he was talking about, you know, would you go into an interview in a pair of pajamas? I don't know what it was related to, but it just made me laugh. Stream reviews, live search results. Yes, love that. Hard time marketing. Yeah. I mean, as Rakesh said earlier, hard time marketing because it's one of the hardest things, getting your name out there. But what I will say to you is that it builds on itself. So as soon as you start to get some sort of traction, it starts to build on itself. And you'll find that when people start to take your courses, and this is something again, and I think there was a presenter that we had on that was saying exactly this, that I think it was Sophie B. And she was saying that, or it might have been Melissa Dillon, I'm not sure, but one of the instructors said, and it's quite true, is we're afraid to ask people on their opinion on things. So if you held a live, for instance, like people are very afraid of asking for something, even though they're giving everything. Like you guys are probably the same. You give everything into what you're doing. especially if you're doing a live and those sort of things. Like, I'm giving a lot of knowledge to you now, but a lot of people don't like to ask that question. So they don't ask for things like, can you give me a testimonial? I ask that in every single live workshop that I do, because it's up to you. I can't force you. I can just say, did you love this session? Are you loving Zenler? Did you love that part of Zenler? Then write us a review. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because you're asking, you're getting honest feedback, and you're getting, and in a way it's reciprocal, because I've given you something and you've gone, yeah, you've really helped me, so I'm going to spend 2 minutes and I'm going to write a quick review on Trustpilot. And we love that, you know, because it's real honest opinions from our users. And with that in mind, we've got a thing planned for reviews as well. So you guys hold off the reviews for a while, because for a week or so, actually Saturday, and then start reviewing. And you might get something if you give us a Trustpilot review. So on the 1st of April, let's have a look at those reviews coming in, and you might receive something. Okay, but do it because you want to, not because we might give you something. All right. So that's all I'm saying. So that's a first for you guys. So yeah. So Caroline's put here. We're off on a little tangent here, but I'm going to carry it through because we've got time. So love that. I have a hard time marketing. It's simple in shouting out in LinkedIn. So I love that. Yeah, but it's simple shouting out in Instagram, TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. You know, I mean, let's look at reuse of content here. If you did a quick video using Zoom, edited it, made it look nice with this kind of background and things, you can then share that across a ton of socials. That's what we do. If you look at our socials on our Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on X, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, you're going to see that we've reused the same content. So yeah, we changed the descriptions a little bit, but we've reused the same content. So we haven't made like 6-10 lots of content. And I know that's the thing that's probably worrying you guys. You probably thought, well, if I join that social, if I join that, then I've got to, it's extra work for me. But if you can reuse the content, you can save yourself a ton of time. Literally, it's then minutes to post across all these platforms if you're using a social poster like Hootsuite, or any of the posters. Even from Canva itself, if you've got a pro account, you can schedule stuff to go out across your socials. Did you know that? We were using it for quite some time. So inside Canva, you have the ability to schedule posts to go out to your social sites. Did you guys know that? Well, I've lost you. You're quiet. Maybe you did. You all know about it. You're like, yeah, I knew about that, David. Don't worry about it. So, right. Okay, so let us get on with the next phase, which is our housekeeping session. So let me explain what the housekeeping session is. I'm going to put the splash screen up to start, and then you guys can see. Okay, so this is housekeeping. So things you need to know. Right. So yeah, so things you need to know. So housekeeping. So these are things that you guys should be doing. So I'm going to be showing you quite a few different housekeeping things that you maybe didn't know about, but could make your life easier. So I've got a test site. There's really not a lot in there. So, but I'm going to try and show you some of the things that you should be doing so that you know. All right, so let's jump in, and I'll share my screen and you can ask questions. Now, remember, I'm going to try and allow myself at least 20 minutes for you guys to come in and ask questions on all this stuff I'm talking about. And that includes all this stuff that we've just talked about on the welcome part of A Day with Zenler. But this is housekeeping, things you need to know. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my site now and share my screen. Let me just put you guys on another screen so I can see any comments. Okay, guys, so YouTube is streaming as well. Slowing down is tough. So you're the same as me, Francis. You know, guys, how do you find presenting? Do you like being on? Okay, right. Okay, right. Are you guys ready for the housekeeping session? Give me a yay. Yes, I knew about Canva. Oh, okay. You guys love Canva. All right, so let me share my screen now and show you this. Okay, so this is our little test site here. I've really stripped this back. For you guys that know the Zen pop-up site, I had a ton of different things going on in here, but I've stripped it all back to just sort of core pages and things. Got some extra pages going on in here, but it's all very basic. So the first thing I want to talk about to you is about your SEO preview of your pages. So a lot of this stuff I've covered before, and you tend to find this with Zenler, you repeat yourself like 10 or 20 times, but there's new users coming here and people forget things. So they need to move forwards. So you guys are all saying yes, Caroline, Zoe, Francis, Angela, yes, and US. All right. So first thing is your preview, your SEO preview for your pages. So have you guys all set up your SEO preview? I know you guys are getting better because maybe like 2 years ago, we used to get everybody that posts their links to their sites used to have the default SEO preview, and they would put it on there. So we took a long time to try and tell people, like, you need to update that, you need to update that, and it seems to be getting better. But I bet that some of you haven't. So let me go in and edit this page and show you just what I mean. So if we come into this page here, and this is just a default page, it's a clean site now, I've cleaned it back. And we come up here to this little button at the top, you're going to see that it says SEO settings here, okay, which is scary, but it doesn't need to be scary. So inside this area is where you need to put your information. I see a lot of people just leave it blank like this, because what a lot of people do, and I get this all the time, is they save the page. So they make a change in the page. Let's go and make a change. Let's do this. This is what a lot of you do. I know you do, because I do it myself, I will admit, but that's because I'm showing a workshop. Okay, so they'll make a change and they'll go and they'll create their lovely page, and then they'll click save. And then what will happen is the preview will come up. Now, this is not the first time I've saved it, but this preview box will come up like this. And what they do is they look at it and they go, okay, and then they save it again, and then they go off. Have you guys done that? I bet you have. It's a common one, right? That people do that. They just save it and then they close that box down straight away. So you don't want to be doing that. You don't, of course. So let's go back into this, go to SEO preview and understand what it's all about. So this is in here, you're going to see an SEO preview, right? And it says, it basically gives you a preview of how it will show. It gives two different versions. Like this might be how it appears on Google search results, for instance, or on LinkedIn if you put the link in there to this page, or it might appear like this, which is more like a Facebook type look. So if you just leave it and you close this down, when you drop the link anywhere, this is what they'll see. That's not very good, is it? If you see that, you'll be like, oh dear. So let's start filling it out and make this more. So guys, pick a subject. Let's base it around the first person to pick a subject. I'm going to get you to do a little bit of work. So a little bit of work. I'm doing the work. You just got to say what you want the subject to be. Don't make it too crazy. I know what you guys are like. sometimes there's like a 10-second lag between us and the stream, so it takes a little while to get something. Aviation English. Oh, Nikki. Oh, hello. Career coaching. We got healthy coach. I've got. Oh no, Zoe. I'm not doing dog training. Not again. I do dog training all the time. Let's do healthy foods for Caroline. All right. So let's do healthy foods. So if the name of your site is, let's call it healthy foods, right? Healthy food courses or cooking or something. I don't know. That's what you would put. So you put something in there. Now, a lot of people also put their website address in there. So you could put that in there. So I could put Zen. .com or something. Do you see what I mean? Some people put the URL in there as well. That can be good practice. Okay? So, but always put what the name of it is first, right? So what happens with this is that search engines will look at that. They will look at the name of the page. They will look at the, I'm going to talk about this more, but they will look at the content in the page, including, sorry, I had to ask for dog training. They'll look at the titles in the page, and I'm going to talk about housekeeping in a second with that as well. But they'll look at the titles in the page, they look at the subheadings, and they look at the body copy. And then they'll also look at the SEO. So they'll look at the SEO and go, okay, so it's talking about healthy foods, and on the page it's also talking about healthy food. So it's going to say, that's good, check. Okay. If you have something not the same, like it just says homepage, it can affect your score. All right. So best practice, don't think too much about this stuff, guys. There's a ton of stuff online that you can research about this, but don't think too much about it. Just make sure that you've got a term in there that you think people would want to type into a search engine. That's as far. I'm not going to get into a ton of SEO. So the description, you also want to make sure that you're featuring this. So we're going to put something in here. So you can use AI to generate some of this stuff if you want to. So healthy food courses for everyone to learn to make delicious, healthy foods. Okay, it doesn't have to be too long, but it needs to be long enough. I'd probably double the length of that and then finish it there. Okay. So what I've done here is I've mentioned healthy food and healthy food. Okay. That means that also says healthy food, but we've done it in a way that sounds right. Okay, we don't want to be filling it. You don't want to put healthy food and then do this a ton of times, because I know that's what some of you got. I've had this before where people have done this, right? Okay, you don't want to do something like that, right? That's keyword stuffing. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that in your pages either, because Google will look at that, search engines will look at that, and it will go, you're trying to get a higher rating by putting those keywords in there in numerous places. It's cleverer than you think, and it'll go, no, and it will actually drop you down the listings. Okay, this is just common. This has been around for decades, this kind of thinking. Okay, it used to, in the good old days, you used to be able to get away with this sort of stuff. What you used to do is in the page, you'd put a ton of these words in there, but your page would be white, and you do the text white, and you do it at like 6 pixels, and you would get really good results. And then Google realized what people were doing. So now they actually look for colors. So they'll look in your site and they'll see if it's a white background and white text. What are you doing? You know, you're trying to make that invisible for search engine results, and it will penalize you for it. So they've got a lot cleverer in their old age, has old Google and the search engines in general, and you can guarantee with AI it's going to get even better with this stuff. So you want to put healthy foods in there, but you want to feature it in a way that's natural. Kevin would have a lot to say on this. He talks about it in his blogs, like naturally written stuff gets better keyword results than just if you try to force it all in there, because one, people can't read it, it doesn't flow, and these sort of things. So that's a little bit of of a crack course in SEO there. So this is what it will show. So look how it's looking now. It looks much better. You know, you've got all that in there. Repetitive words, not in a row. It's really got a flow, Caroline. You know, repetitive words. You could use repetitive words, but if it's natural, if it feels natural in the copy. Okay? And you can often, you know, you can take your copy. This is great what AI does. You could take it in there and go, does this look natural, or does it look like I'm trying to keyword stuff this article with this phrase? And then you can ask ChatGPT and it will throw it back to you, and it'll tell you. It will tell you if you're overdoing it, and it might reword it slightly for you. Don't let it take control, but let it help you with those things. So the next one is meta keywords. Now, meta keywords, some people say that they're not that important, or they're not used that much. Other people say that they still are. I personally err on the side of caution, and I always put them in there. So, right, you might think healthy food should go in there first, right? But this is another little tip for you. Put it in third. Okay, so I can put something like what should I put in here? I can put something like food that is good for you. Then we put a comma, okay? And then we carry on. So then we're going to put food for fitness, and a comma. And then I'm going to put something like this, healthy food. And then I'm going to put courses, training, eating. Okay, that's it. So you'll notice that they don't come up in the SEO preview, but what they do is they come up in Google looks at them. So Google will look at them and go, oh, okay, so it's food related. Okay, oh, there, healthy food, third one in. And healthy food there. Okay, and the copy's got healthy food. Check. Okay, so whole foods, yeah, Angela, you know, I'm not an expert on this. So yeah, you can put whole foods in there. So that kind of thing. So the next thing to do is, that looks nice. Looks kind of like an ad, but you want to make it look good as well. So you want to have an image that you've created on something like Canva. So I'm going to just jump into my Canva account, just make a quick image up. Doesn't need to be big, this image. In fact, you can use the course card that you created from the course if you wanted to, okay? So let me just log into my Canva account. And then I'll reshare. And I can just go in and put this. Yeah, we're going to create everything today. So you guys, I'm just having to put a verification code in. I changed my computer. I've got a brand new computer, so some things are not linked up the way they should be. Okay, I'm in there. Fabulous. All right. Okay. Right, okay, back to screen share. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you can use the normal course card. So magic number, guys. Who knows my magic number I use all the time? Who knows it? Yeah, so to fit. Yeah, keep it fairly short. Don't make it too long. You can use emojis in there as well. So my magic number is magic number is 5. No, my magic number series is 1920 by 1080. All right, it's the magic number because why? Because that is the same size that is used practically everywhere in Zenler, apart from communities that uses the same width but not the same height. So that is 1920 pixels by 1080. Okay, so I'm going to create a new design because I want to do it all for you. I'm going to go down to custom size here, and I'm going to hit in this 19. So you put 1920 by 1080 into here. I've got it already because I use this size. And this is, by the way, the magic number, not only because of Zenler. Yeah, Francis, you got it. Yeah, this is not only the magic number because of Zenler, this is the magic number because this is the 16:9 ratio, which is exactly the right size for HD video. All right. So if you're creating a video in HD, high HD, or even standard HD, everything will go up and down in size and it will match it exactly. And that's why Zenler has chosen this particular size. It's you don't have to do it this size, it's just the perfect size to do it. You could do, for that image preview, you could do it square, you know, it's really up to you. You can do it portrait or this. So I tend to use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for something. Hold on, I've got food here. Food, let me just stick this in here. So there, I've got the food recipe. Obviously change that up. I'm going to go to share, I'm going to go to download. I'm going to download this as a JPEG. Download it as a JPEG from Canva. Another little tip, saving it as a PNG file will add extra file size onto your image. All right. JPEG basically carries 3 channels of data. PNG files carry 4. So it's extra file size. You use a PNG if you're creating transparency in the image. That means other things show through underneath it. But for these flat images, we use JPEG. By default, Canva outputs a PNG. Change it to JPEG. Okay. If you are on a paid account, take the quality settings down to between 50 and 60. This will reduce the file size of this as well. File size is key in website design, because if you go and upload too heavy an images, when I mean heavy, big in file size, then it slows your site down. So for instance, I'll give you an example. If I was to produce this out at 4,000 pixels, I'd probably have an 8 megabyte size file. Okay, I put it into Zenler and it reduces down to 1920 by 1080 anyway, because it doesn't go that size, it's too big. So you're wasting all that extra. So it'd be 8 megabytes, whereas I can put this out for about maybe 50k, so a fraction of the size, and that will slow it. Sutafit, no, I'm just checking YouTube. I can't do both at the same time, but I will do. Got questions later, guys. That's why I put the question thing in there. You can come, guys can come in, ask questions in there. This is purely showing you, just write notes down as you're going through for questions you've got to ask. So I'm going to click download to that. And sorry, I'm so strict, but I have to be when I'm running this, because I've got to present to you and I can't jump around too much. I'm sure you understand. So now I've got that downloaded in here. I'm going to label it. I'm going to label it food. This is another good thing to do as well. Label everything. So healthy food. Okay. I've labeled that in there. I'm going to stick that on my desktop. Now I've done with that. You can save these out as well. Once you've got that template in there, you can save it so you can reuse it later. So I've got it in here now, and I could just save that, and I can go and reuse the next time I create one. I can just add a slide to it and output it again. So 1080. Okay. So let's jump back into here now, and I'm going to upload it. So inside here, I'm going to go upload image. There it is. Open. I'm going to upload without crop. You can crop it in there if you want to. And there you go. So now this is what we have. We have this beautiful little preview. And this, if you posted in the Facebook group, would look like this. So a lot of you are posting stuff and you're getting the default thing. Some of you do it, and you need to do this with every part of the site. So you need to go into every page. This is your homework. If you haven't done it, you need to check all your pages have got this all laid out. So when you're done, you click done, you don't see anything. Okay? So, but under here, this is what the preview would show. So check all of your site, check your marketing funnels. That's an area where people don't do it. And inside the marketing funnel, specifically the opt-in page, the first page of your marketing funnel, do it for any of the pages in your site. What I want you guys to do is I want you to go through all of the pages in your site, and I want to check that you've done the SEO for all pages. All right. Now, I get the question come up, I'm sure it's come up again. What about secret pages that don't show on search engine results, such as hidden pages and those sort of things? My policy, see, this needs doing because it's a clean site. My policy is do it all, every single page. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You could copy the same stuff across if you want to, but you should do it. Okay, so let me have a look, see if any questions come on, but before we jump on to the next bit. So I've got, stop the share a second, see if any questions are coming in. Okay, on the home page, you can have a photo of yourself. Absolutely, Patricia. It's a good idea. You've got a lovely photo of yourself. You can put whatever you like in there. It's on your home page. Question, so to fit, oh, that's my share. That's why my share show the same photos. Yes, absolutely, because you need to change it. Now, look, one little caveat to this: if you've posted your link on Facebook and you see that you have not done this, and then you go and update it, you will have to what's called recrawl Facebook to get it to change that image over. Okay, we've got training on this. It's basically crawling. I'll try and find let me just try and find the video where I show how to do that, because that's really important. So if you change it, if you're getting this come up on Facebook and then you change it and you post it again, you still get that same image and it hasn't refreshed, it's because basically Facebook is caching it. It caches or saves what you first gave it, and it won't overwrite it until you recrawl it or you use the developer tools inside of Facebook to do that. So let me just check where that video is. This might be interesting for you to see, actually, because this is self-help. Okay? So all I've done is I've come into Google and I've put Zenler, recrawl Facebook. Okay. So sometimes you've got to know the terminology. So here we go. So I've got down here, this is not, this is by us. Yes, here it is. So how to resolve Facebook debug, clear the cache in Zenler. Okay. So if you click this one, you'll go through to it, if I'm not a robot. And
work today is broken.
This is the video for it. So you can go in there. You can use Facebook as a way to search for our content. We were very, we really wanted the search engines to start crawling all of our data, so that you can use the search engines as a way to find support documentation. All right. So you can do that. In fact, 90% of times, questions that come into the Facebook group, by doing a quick search, you can find a video on it. So a lot of you do that first before you ask questions, because you might find that there's a video. You're highly likely to find there's a video on that. So if that's what you've got, so my task to you is to go through every page of your site doing this. I said this to Oenka. She had a site, and it was one of the things I said to her. She was like, every page, right? And some people will say, oh, well, if it's a closed page, like it's a course page, you don't need to do it. The reason I say do it every page is because when you go through every page, which can take you a long time to do, you're never going to not do it again, because you're going to be sick to death of it. So it's almost like banging you on the head saying you've got to do it every single time. Next time you come to create a new page or a new course, you're going to do it, because you're like, I'm not going to risk that page not doing it. So every page, yeah. Posts are different because a post is a blog, yeah. So a blog post. So every page in the site, you should check. if you're not sharing that page or those things, but remember what I said to you, search engine results, look at this stuff. So if you're not doing it, you should be doing it. Obviously locked pages, like if someone's bought a course and gone into your course access page, that's not going to be indexed by the search engines. All right. So in theory, you don't have to do it, but I'm telling you, put yourself through a little bit of hell so that you never forget this. And that'll be good as well. So do you need to have this at the course sale pages? I think I've just answered that. So on the actual access pages themselves, theoretically you don't need to because it's a locked page, and even but I do them all if I was you, just because I want you to never forget this. You know, just never forget what I'm telling you here with this stuff. I mean, if you have a funnel, a course, that's SEO you want, right? But not the sales page of the course. Sales page. Sorry, you talk about funnel. So, I mean, if you have a funnel to a course, that's the SEO you want, right? Not the sales page. No, I mean, if you've got an opt-in for a funnel, that's a front panel. That's a front page, because you'll be sharing that funnel opt-in page, maybe on socials. And then after they go through the funnel, obviously they'll be redirected to a course page, yeah? So the course page, course sales page would also need SEO, because independently you might want to market both of those separately. So you might want to put the sales page URL on Facebook 1 month, and then maybe a month later you might want to put the funnel. So anywhere it's going to show up, anywhere, any page that you are going to share anywhere needs to have that done to it. Right, this is, guys, like, this is as important as creating your page content itself. Right, you might be, no, people see the page content, but I'm telling you, for traffic and search engine results and the way that it looks on other social sites, it's just as important. So when I get people say, oh, but do I need to do it for every page? I'm telling you to do it for every page, because I don't want to go and tell you one by one which pages you should do it for. I just think that you should do all of it, and then you've covered yourself. Now, this is something that you don't have to, don't have to worry and go, oh, I need to get it done. I need to get it done today. Just do it. Just go through your site pages, go through any of your funnel pages, or any of the regular, or any of your sales course pages, and just make sure that they've got that SEO in there. It's really, really critical. It's so important. So how are you with that? Are you okay? I'm going to jump and have a look at my channel. What's going on? Oh, okay. We got some stuff going into our YouTube channel. Sorry, guys. So, how do I position yourself at the bottom, floating the share screen? Right, okay. It's not SotaFit. You're on both of them, SotaFit. Feel a bit weird calling you SotaFit. By Ad Lynn. Oh, Lynn. I'll call you Lynn. Okay, so how I'm doing this on here, we've got a course on this. This is OBS I'm using. So if you go to our tutorial site and you go to extras, you'll find an OBS workshop, shows you how I'm doing this stuff. By the way, I'm going to be doing a more advanced one of these as well, because I've already done that basic one for you there. I can share it with you on the tutorial site. We've got time. So let me make sure. Okay, so here we go. So under everything else we got here, this is our tutorials.newzenler.com site. You're going to find, hopefully, I'll put it in here. Maybe it's not made its way across yet. Oh, I'll have to send you that link. I'll have to send you the link to the funnel. Some of those were funnels and we haven't moved them across yet. Let me just double check. Ah, it could be in lives. There it is. Okay. Okay, so if you go to our tutorial site, okay, go to tutorials.newzenler.com, I'm going to be sharing quite a few of these courses as we go through on how to get better. So the one I just covered, hold on, so to fit for a second, marketing, right? You guys want to go into this, the marketing tab, and you want to take this course here. Okay. That will show you more of what we've just covered, okay? Go in detail. But if you just want to do what I've told you now as a homework, if you do it, take a little screenshot of that little preview page, put it in one, put it in the thread, put it in where you're writing now. That'd be really good. So that I can see that you guys are doing it, okay? So that would be good. Go in there for that one. So if doing this groovy thing here and making myself do this kind of thing and moving myself around and all this stuff, you can do that if you go into our training again, and you go to the lives, because this is, we're running live. So see our training library, and you're going to see down here that we have an our training library, and you're going to see down here that we have an BS workshop, okay? Mastering OBS. That's open broad workshop, okay? Mastering OBS. That's open broadcast where it's awful. Tracy Browning, who's not in here, she's Australian, she's not here. She uses it now by default. She loves it. She said it's the best thing that she's ever done with being able to run lives and put stuff in the background and watermarks and all of these sort of things, because you can do some pretty amazing things. So it's just completely changed my background at the flick of a switch. So I can just do something like that really quickly live in front of you guys, okay? So that is the OBS one there. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to move on to another housekeeping tip. There's going to be a lot, so I don't expect you maybe to do them all, but if you can try and do them as we go through, that would be really cool. So what's the next thing I want to tell you about? Okay, so this is quite a big one. Yeah, let me continue with the page. All right, so this is try and get your head around this. It's very simple, but you just need to understand it. So there might be some questions come up for this one. All right, so let's go. Caroline, guru. Yeah, I've just been doing it a long time, you know. Guru, old dog, I think that's the word. Right. Okay, so the next part of it is going to be your content. Now, this is a big one. This is such a big one. So I'm going to just grab some content from, I'm not sharing my screen yet. Just give me a second, guys. I want to base this on healthy foods. So I'm just going to use AI to generate some copy for me, unless I can't see it in the thread. Okay. All right. So let me be replacing my home page. Let's share. So I'm in now. It's just going a bit crazy, whirling away. And I'm going to ask it, can you write me an article about healthy, about a healthy it's low in carbs. Whoever wrote me to pick this subject, tell me if I'm right and wrong with these things, or give me copy thing to use. Okay, so it's all about you. Whoever wrote that, I can't remember. For some reason it's not going. Hold on, let me just. Actually, go-to tool. So a lot of you use ChatGPT. I tend to use Perplexity. All right, it's doing it. Okay. All right, so I'm in Perplexity now, perplexity.ai, and I'm getting it to write me a healthy food article. I don't want to spend too long on this. This is not the point of it. Okay, so it's given me a lovely little article here, and it's given me a nice heading in here and some sort of subheadings to each of the sections in there. So I'm just going to take part of this and use it. So what a lot of people do is they'll copy the content or they'll write the content inside their site. So I'm going to strip this site out. I'm basically going to build this. I'm building it with you. I'm going to build it as we go through the day because I'm going to add a community and all sorts of things. So I'm going to get, this is my default page. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to delete all these blocks out. So it's interesting. You've given me a little bit of copy there. I'm going to get it to write an article based on those few lines that you gave me. So it's going through loads of articles. It's going to write me something now. Living with a condition like fibromyalgia, automatic disorder. So that's really cool. And I don't know if that's accurate or not, Caroline, but pretty good. Looks good to me. I don't know what it means. Okay. So anyway, ChatGPT. So right, you guys have put yes. Some of you have put yes in there. All right. It's not since the workshop. Oh no, Zoe, you jumping ahead. Stop it. You're spoiling the surprise. Okay. So the disadvantage by doing something like this is that when the search engines look at this, they don't know a priority, because all you've done is you've used what's called body text. So you've dropped in the element, the body text element inside here, which is just text. Okay. So this is, if you look behind the scenes, what search engines are doing, they're looking at this and they're going, that's the body text, which is important. Okay. But it's looking for other things. So it's actually looking for what it's about. What's the main thing that this is about? It's also looking at what else is related to it. So how can a search engine, I mean, AI is obviously getting better with these sort of things. It can sort of spot what the main core of the article is about. But we're talking about control over it, and we're telling it exactly what we want. And we also want to be using words like, what are people going to type into search engine? Well, AI has done a really good job there and given me healthy eating, which is quite a powerful word, probably another really good word as well. But just know that this takes a priority over any of this stuff. So we need to tell it to do this. So if you guys have just been formatting inside of here, you're doing it wrong. It's okay to go in here, pulled and these sort of things. But if you're putting an actual heading title in here, and this is what I'm about to say now, although if you're putting an actual heading title in here, and this is what I'm about to say now, although Zoe's blown it, and Karen knows about it anyway, is we want to be using H1. We want to be using headings. So with any page content you have on any of the pages, funnels, even a blog, you want to make sure that you're using one H1 heading. This H1 heading is the priority. It's what the whole page is about. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to add that. So we're going to add an element. This is really important side of it. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are putting things in order. So this one's quite good. In today's fast pace, maintaining a healthy diet is more crucial than ever. So you might want to do an H2 heading in that, or create your own. So for this particular article, I'll grab H2 there. I'm going to swish it over to the left, and you can create another subline for that. So you can put healthy eating courses for a balanced, to have a fitter and more balanced life into your old age, or something like that. You know, you could put something like in there, but it's related to what it said. So bear in mind what I said. It's related to the main article, to the main heading, and off of that. And build your structure out like that. Don't use more than one H1 heading. H1, okay? H2 you can use more. Like to throw in an H3 as well. I don't tend to use 4 and 5. To be honest, I hardly ever use 3. But you'll notice it on our blog posts, that you'll see that that's exactly what we've done. If we go into Zenler's blog, then I can I like to back things up that I'm talking about with how it's being done. That's not good. Okay, so here we go. So we got our blogs in here. If you guys haven't been to the blog site, newzenler.com/blog, you can also sign up down the bottom here. And we've got a ton of interesting articles on different things. But let's go into this one, for instance. Like inside of this complete guide to marketing, you're going to see that this is the H1 tag here. Down here, we've got H2 tags. To prove that to you, if I right hand click and go down to inspect, we can inspect it. So what we're looking at here is you can see that says H1. See, it says H1 blog heading dynamic header. Okay. And if we go down here, you're going to see that this is H2 dynamic header. So there's a reason why we set this out in this way. And this is body text. So it just says P. P means paragraph. Okay. It's body text. It's the main content of it, but it's called P. But that's the tag for it. Okay. You can use H3 for headings in multiple paragraphs. H3. Yeah, you can. I'd probably go more for H2 to back it up, but it depends. If you've got think about it as, do you know, like when you do a bullet list or you do a numbered list and then you have indentations and then you know, it might be A, B, C for something else, and then you indent again for something else, and then you might use, you know, I and then 2 I's, and then you put the thing there so it indents. That's how you should be thinking. That's what search engines look for. They look for that order. H1, definitely H1 in there, Patricia. You've got to do that. Blogs, the title of a blog already applies an H1, so you don't need to put an H1 into a blog. You can just use H2. Try and use H2 and H3, but it's certainly better to use them in there. Don't obliterate it with H2. Don't do, like I said before, like healthy food on an H2 headings in there, and use exactly the same kind of phrases. By course, we said, look, this is the complete guide to course marketing. Okay, that's the main catch. Creation to sale. This is the secondary line. If you look down here, course marketing matters, marketing strategies, content marketing. Okay, down here, community building, social media, email marketing is not too much. We've said it a few times already. Partner marketing is not too much. We've said it a few times already. Partners and affiliates, advanced. Do you see what I mean? So you can look at it. And if you structure it right, then that's how it will be. So let me just save this, or how it will be. So let me just save this and just preview it, and I can just use the inspector to show you that as well. So now this is this page, healthy food course. So if I right hand click, I'm using Chrome. By the way, guys, make sure you're using Chrome with Zenler. It's the best for this stuff. So to inspect stuff, you right hand click, you go down to inspect and you click that. It should open in this corner. You'll then select this little icon here to inspect the actual code. We click that and then we hover over an area. You see it says H1, you see it says H2, and this is the P text, or the paragraph text, body text. Okay. So also what's handy about using the inspector, another little tip while I'm in here, is you can change to different devices. So you can come in here and you can choose different devices and look how your page is displaying inside of Chrome's inspector. Right, that's another good little tip for you. So this is a bigger one because, of course, now you guys have got to go through all of your pages and make sure this is what you are doing. So have any of you done what I've said on the first 2 housekeeping tips? Give me a yes or a no in the chat. Oh, you're silent. You're silent, Patricia. Oh, so you haven't done it, Patricia. Not now. I don't mean do it. I don't mean do it now. Have you finished it? No. I just saying, have you done that already? So have you already implemented what I've told you? Have you done the SEO preview? I'm pretty sure there's a few guys in, like Caroline in here, Zoe, have been on a lot of workshops. Yes. Second, need to check. Yeah, check through them, Zoe. So Zoe, Caroline have been in a lot of the workshops and probably done them. So to fit, you probably haven't. It's definitely a good idea to go through these and do this. Okay. And Patricia, if you haven't done any of those, make sure you're doing them. If you're new, is anyone brand new here? Anyone brand new, just sort of trying to build their site and those sort of things? So if you're new to it, you'll just take these things on board as you go through. Okay. So this housekeeping, we're going to keep this in there, and we run the day with Zenler last Friday of every month. Okay. And you can come in and we're going to build on this. So we're going to build more things that you should do with your site going forwards. So that is that part of it. Now, the last one I want to tell you about is images and alt tags. Right? So we're focusing mainly today on the page. All right. There's a ton of other housekeeping things we can do, but we're focusing mainly on the page. So I'm going to jump back into my screen share. So what we want to do with images, and this is something, and I don't know if I've ever really mentioned much about this, but I really should. I'm going to add an image into this. So I'm going to add an image to the right of this. So I'm just going in, I'm going to click this. I just want to move this into this row, and I'm going to put an image into here. So I'm going to add an element, and I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to choose an image that I've got, like this one here. And I would take this, I would clone it. I know I work fast, but you can pause the video later, and then I would take this and go, okay, it ends at about clarity. And I would take it to here, like that. Okay, I could tweak it a bit more, but now it's more under the row. Do you know what I mean? So I could take that and I can move that sentence down there to get that right. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the image. If you've got an image in a page, in any page inside of Zenler. So that could be in a funnel, that could be in a blog post, it could be in any of the live pages you've set up, or it could be in a page or even a course page or anywhere that you can put an image. Right, are you doing this? So Karen says she's done the SEO. You are a star. So what you need, got an alt tag to them. Easy to do. Inside here, you got the little settings icon, and if you click, you got the little settings icon, and if you click that, you're going to get the settings come out on the right hand side. Go into settings, where it says alt attribute, the same keyword that you're using for that page. Now, if you've got multiple images, please make the keyword slightly different. But we're going to call this healthy living. Okay. Now, right. So what happens with images is that search engines look at images, and if there's no alt tag applied to them, they don't know what the image is and whether it's relatable to the article. So if you put an alt tag in there, it tells them that that image is on healthy eating or healthy living. So you want to make sure that you're doing this. So if I had another image in here, I might call it healthy eating course or something like that, or recipes, delicious recipes for a fit life or something like this. So it's a really important aspect, and I guarantee that a lot of you have forgotten to do it over your images. So have you know, which is surprising because you've been in a lot of courses, but I don't think it's something I touch on that much, but it's really important. So I want to make these little and new. So Patricia, new. Yeah, exactly. So you go into there for any imagery, you go to those settings. Now I can also give it a title if I wanted to. So if I come in here and gave it a title, I can put a title on it. So what I suggest you do is add title attribute and the alt attribute. Okay, make them the same or slightly different. It's really up to you. But it takes a few seconds to do, and it will really make a difference to search engines. I mean, this sort of stuff that I'm telling you now, if you've got multiple images in here and you're using things like the H1 tag, you're using H2 for the subheadings, using that body text correctly, you've got those words appearing inside the copy, you're putting alt and title attributes to your images. This can literally make a massive, huge difference. It can take you from maybe page 100 of Google up to page 10 or even higher. This is how big a difference this kind of stuff does. So don't take it lightly. Don't think, oh, okay, oh, it's all about SEO and it's all about this. I'm going to ignore that and I'm just going to carry on writing the way I write. Okay. And if you've got a big audience, that's a different thing. If you've got a big audience of followers, a huge number of people in your courses that are following you, you don't have to do any of this because they're already following you. But if you're trying to get new sales and new people in, you want to get your content as high in the listings as you possibly can. And doing this sort of thing is easy, and it's a massive day, because I think this is very, what happens is you can be very successful with subjects that are niche inside of it, you know, very, very successful. So look at Melissa Dillon, for instance. She's what, going to be 2 million this year she's making, and she does insurance exams. Very niche. Must be your internet, Barbara. I'm not frozen. You guys having a problem? Got no internet. Oops. Maybe it's because I'm not moving, Barbara. Am I moving? So anyway, you can see it's now drawn this article out, and I like Perplexity because it actually gives you citations as well of where it came from, which is pretty cool, and it actually includes those citations down the bottom when you export it out, which is nice. So if you want to cite where that article parts come from, you can actually add it in there. So that's how you can do it. So you just make sure it's natural. You know, this isn't all about SEO. It's about what you should be doing. So you should be doing that H1. You know, you should be doing that H1, that H2, thinking of it like a bullet list. Okay, so like a bullet list where it goes on. That's the importance. And then body is the kind of skin that surrounds it all. Okay, and then you'll be fine. Make sure that you do your SEO in the page. That's important. We covered that. And make sure that you've put your alt tags inside here for all of this stuff. Okay, guys, so we are now at 9:34. So I think I want to open up for any questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop, if I don't get anybody asking any questions, I'm going to show another tip. All right, but I'm going to throw in, this is the first time I've tried this, so we're going to see what happens. First time I've tried it on a day with Zenler, so anything could happen. So I'm going to drop the direct Zoom link. Guys, if you want to stay in Facebook community, absolutely fine. I'm going to drop the direct Zoom link into here, where you guys can jump in chat, so you guys can jump in as well from YouTube. So if I've got the YouTubers in there, by the way, YouTube, I know like I'm not looking so much at your questions, but I drop this link in here. You can jump in with me if you want to. And I will get to answer every single question that I see in the chat. So if you've put questions in there already, I might follow up. If you've put a question down, I don't know what bit it relates to, I might follow up. So Patricia's got a question. You can drop it in there, Patricia, or you can jump in live with me. Absolutely fine. So I've got Barbara in. Barbara's in. Fabulous. So what I'm going to do is let you open up yours now, so you can start your video, and this will be good. So if you want to jump in, ask a question, people that are live with me are going to get priority. Okay, but I will check if no one's on camera. I will jump in. So Angela's in as well. Hi, Angela. Really good you guys are showing up to support this. It's really good. I didn't know how the morning session would go because I don't know how many people will drop in or not. for this morning because it is quite early. So it tends to pick up the further you go into the day. But I think this housekeeping one is really important. Are you liking it? Are you liking this housekeeping part of the day with Zenler? Do you want it in or do you want it out? Vote now. Oh, Pauline's off to work. Take care, Pauline. Have a good day. Angela loves it. Fabulous. Right. Hello, guys. So you might have questions. I've got one question in here from Patricia that I'll answer. I write a blog. There is a link that the reader can click to be directed to the full blog post. How do I hover the link with another color? Is that it? Clear the okay, when I write a blog post, it comes automatically. Okay, so you're asking for a bit of custom code to be put in there to be able to do that. And we're not covering that in this because that's custom code. But I will show you maybe later. I remember that one and I might fit it in there. But will require using a bit of CSS code to do that because by default it just puts it into that color based on your branding. Okay. And we got Barbara's up. Hi Barbara, good to see you. Our super winner on the tour with Zenler. So guys, have you got any questions? You that are live, Francis, Angela, Sota fits in on the iPhone. Do you have any questions in there? No? No questions. Okay. Can't unmute. No, you can't unmute. You've got to, if you've got a question, just raise your hand and then I can unmute you, Francis. You've got a question then, have you? So let me unmute you. Let me go. Okay, Francis. There you go. Hello, Francis.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm good. Having a fun day today. It's a big one.
You
but
really are. It's great. I meant to hop in and hop out, but I've been on it the whole time. I've just been stuck to it. It's on another screen here going on at the same time. Anyway, it's just about the alt images. I forgot about, I just wrote down it was an image about X. I didn't actually write. Is it the main keyword you were saying? The main keyword you should put in the alt attribute and the title.
Image in a single post. Not that you would, but you could. So I like to label it, or you might use that image across 4 or 5 different blog posts or 5 different pages. So all of them should be picking up on a relatable term to that page. That's all it is. So if you're talking about dog training, for instance, you might say dog trainer in Cornwall or something like that. It's just something I'm going to put. If you're holding, for instance, if you've got you're doing a cookery class, a healthy living cookery class in, say, Melbourne, Australia, you might want to put in there cooking class in Melbourne, Australia as an alt tag.
Right.
You know, you'd obviously feature it in the post as well. It's probably what the post would be about, and that will attract people coming in. But that's what you want to do. You want to make sure it's on topic.
Right. Okay. That's good. Thanks, David. Thank you.
That's all right, Francis. Good to see you. Good to see you all live. So I haven't got any more coming in. So shall I show you another thing that I think that you should be doing as well? Yes, Barbara's nodding. That's good. Right, let's jump across and I'll tell you something else that should be done as well. So this is a little bit different. This is more about organizing stuff. So inside your site, let's just save this page and jump to our media. So we have a lot of media in this page. Let's pretend that we've set up a course or we've got site images and they're different to courses. But you know, when you start building up 200 or 300 different images, it's very hard to filter them, maybe download them or even swap them out. So if you go to your main site, so I'm just going to jump into the dashboard here. If you go to site and on the left hand side you jump across to media library, what you're going to get inside here is a list of all of the content on your site. All right, so you can see that last one we put up there is healthy food. It's loading a bit slow today, not sure why. But you're going to see there's PDFs in there. There's JPEGs. I think there's a lot of content. You're going to notice that when I scroll down a little bit, that I've got in here little tags. Okay, so tags, right? This makes it really easy for you to filter stuff. So imagine that I have these videos here, 1, 2, 3, 4, dog, and I have this as part of a course. What you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're tagging your media. So I would select them in here, and then you can do a bulk action of add a tag. So now if I call this healthy course A, for instance, and I just click that and I click add, what's going to happen now is that it's tagged it. So if I've got images that are in a site page, I could put them site page image. You know, I could tag them with site page image. Now, what's really cool about this is if you then, because I've got so many images inside here, right, and some of them are tagged and some are not, I can now filter them. So I'm now on page 8, but I know page 1, I've got that tagged. So I could use filters. So I can search for it on filters. So all I need to do is select inside here. We can select a tag and we can see the tags. So look at my healthy course A. If I select that, only those images will come up, meaning that I can go and I can download them here and I know where they all are. So from an organization point of view, this is really, really handy for you. Now, not only that, this is going to be another thing. So that's one thing. Have you tagged your media? So this, or it could also be on videos. So you might have your videos tagged as well. Now, remember that we've also in here, we can filter. So you can see that we've got a mixture of JPEGs, PNG, we've got videos. If I go select by type and we choose PDF, it only show me PDFs that I've got in here. See that? So again, it becomes easier. Now, if I've got tagging as well, I can fine tune this down. So from an organization point of view, tagging your media is really, really part of housekeeping on your site. So think about that, maybe use it. Are you guys tagging your media? Did you know about it? Yeah, so some, Francis done some. Yeah, probably like me, I do some, then I forget. Or I've got other team members coming in here and they don't do it. You know, I don't do it myself. But it's a great way to keep things organized. Yeah, Angela. Yeah, exactly. So you can keep it organized. But now I'm going to show you something else and you're going to love this. Right. So see on this page, right, I've got this image in here. All right. So what if I've got this image or a video or something or a PDF scattered around numerous places on my site, or I don't even know what it is, or I've changed the branding of that, or I want to swap that image out? Surely it means that I have to create that image, I have to download it, I have to go to the locations where that image or that PDF or that video is, and I need to upload it. I need to delete what's there and I need to upload the new version. That's what you would think, isn't it? But no, what we can do is we can replace it using the media library without the link, alt tags, or anything else changing. So let me show you. Let's go and choose that file. So I'm going to select the tag in here. I'm going to choose, there's nothing going to be in there because I haven't got its actual image. So let me go in here. So you can see that image there. So if I've got this image and I go, I don't like that image, I want to swap that out for something else, then let's go and do something here. Let's swap it out for a new image. So I'll let this load. Let's just add a new page. I'll just go into the file. You replace the file. So let's do that now. Let's click replace file. Let's replace it for this one. Watch what happens. It changes. Just click update there. Make sure it's updated. Okay. Now you're not going to see it change in here yet, but when I preview this or we refresh this page, this image will change with a bit of luck. So it should change to the new replaced image that is in the media library. So remember that if we go in our media library now, you're going to see that that image has got the new colors there. So inside here, I've refreshed this page and it should now load the new one in. So I didn't touch that page. All I did was replace the file from this page. Okay, so that's how you can do it. So housekeeping, tagging things means you can find things easier. If you need to replace a file later because you've maybe got an updated PDF or you want to update the image or branding across some of the videos, you can use that replace feature. So that is in everywhere. If I click a video here, you can see that I can update thumbs there. I thought there was an update. I thought there was a replace on there, but maybe there's not for video. Okay, so you might need to re-upload. Probably video is the exception. I'll talk to Rakesh about that. But certainly for PDFs, if I go into a PDF, I can replace that file because it's a file. So there. And that's the big one. So it's images and PDFs. Okay, videos, I think you're going to have to upload. I'm not, probably because we upload it to Vimeo, you put it into a course, it stops it being updated. Probably a security thing. But certainly for images and for any PDFs, that would also be the same for audio, and it would be the same for any other media that you put on there as well. Okay, so that should be good. So have you guys done that? Have you ever used it before? Got some questions coming. Okay, let me just go off screen share. Okay, so I'm watching the YouTube. Excellent help with housekeeping. Thank you, Diana. Adding it to maintenance list. Yeah, absolutely. So that's good. Yay, more homework. Did not know about it. Yeah, so tagging's a really good one. It keeps things organized inside there. And of course, Zoe never used it. No, but there will be occasion when you do, and just realize that you don't have to go to the source and do it. You can just, well, you actually do go to the source, but you don't need to go to where you put it. Like if you put it into, maybe you've done a link in an email. So you've done a link in an email to the PDF. That link you don't need to change in the email because you can replace the file inside the media library and it will update, and it won't break the link. So this is the difference. When you do it this way, you don't lose that linking. You don't have to go in, delete it, add a new link in there for that, add the alt tags, any links you put in there, the formatting of the formatting itself, because inside the page you might do some really cool things with the way that the image looks, like borders and things like that. So this is all a time-saving thing for you. It's like this, like for this image here, I might go in and spend a bit of time putting lovely, I might have a beautiful little border style on here like this, and if I delete this out and put it in, I've got to reset all that stuff. This is all time saving, and if you put it all together, if you know that these things exist, you can save yourself time, you can be more efficient, you're not affecting the page by deleting. Someone might look at the page when you're deleting it, and if you save it before you've checked it, and if you just go in and you can just replace it with an image or a PDF change, then it's like that. And it's instant, and you're not going to affect people's experience inside your site. So that's going to help you guys out. So we've got a ton more different housekeeping things. We're kind of running out of time now. Been going for nearly 2 hours, and I'm just going to now check just through some of the questions in the Zoom. So yeah, Angela's saying a great way to keep it all organized. So yeah, keeping it all organized. And remember, in every part of Zenler you can tag. That includes the users as well. So the same principle works for the users. So what Zenler have tried to do is keep something familiar throughout all parts of the site. And that includes things like the page builder. So the page builder is used in loads of places in the site, because that way, when you're familiar with it, you'll be familiar with it when using funnels, when using live pages and these sort of things. So that's what we try and do here at Zenler to make your life easier. So here we go. So you've got homework to do. So what I want you to do, guys, if you would, I would love it, is to maybe do a screenshot of a page if you've changed the SEO, if you've done a SEO preview, do a screenshot of that and put that in the live session 1 live. Just put it in the thread like you have been doing on the Facebook group. Just put that in there, drop it in there. It shows that you're active and you're doing things, and that would be really cool. So this kind of brings us to the end of this session. So we got session 2 coming up in an hour's time, where I've got Kevin in with me. So it'll be a bit easier. He's handling quite a lot of it. We're going to look at support. It's actually really cool. I'm not going to tell you what he's done, but he's got a really good thing that he's doing with you. And then we're going to run into tips, tricks and strategies. So if you guys can't make it for that one, you can jump in and watch the replay later, right? So you'll see it all in there. Now I'm going to ask you to do something, because remember right at the beginning, I said to you that don't be afraid to ask your users to do things for you. So I'm going to ask you if you would give us a Trustpilot review. So I'm going to be harping on about this all the time, guys. So we're going to look, and if we get reviews, yeah, might be something for you from this date. Okay, this date is the 28th of March. So we see anything coming on the 28th of March, there might be a surprise for you. All right. So I'm going to put that into the Zoom link. I'm going to put that on the Facebook group as well, for you guys to jump in and maybe give us a review. Now, give us a genuine review. Like if you like some part of the site, or your experience with using Zenler. Really important to see your journey as well. So if you've come across from another platform, if you're just starting off and you're really, you're thankful for the help we're giving you getting started, all these kind of things are different points. So you might love the education side, you might love the dev support side, you might love certain parts of the platform, like the brand new community that's built in. I tell you what, we haven't had anyone talk much about the community in there. We think it's such a massive feature, and it'd be lovely if one of you wrote about the community, like you were using Facebook before, but now you can hold it all on your own site. That would be super cool. Only if you want to. We're not forcing you, but only if you want to. Okay, guys? So I'm going to be checking through all this stuff. So I know that there has been some questions in it maybe I've not answered. You can keep asking questions, even though the live is going to finish in a second. You can keep asking questions inside the Facebook thread, okay, or on the YouTube channel. I will answer every single question, all right? So we're running session 2. Again, we're going to open it up so you guys can come in and ask questions, and we'll be doing this throughout the day. So we're running the next one in about 2 hours time, and get ready, because I'm excited by the next one. It's going to be really good, especially the tips and tricks side of things. That's what I'm handling. So what Kevin's doing, you're going to be like, wow, okay, that's great. So he's going to be handling a certain side of it, and I'm hoping Kevin will stay for the strategies and tips and tricks, because he's got a different view to what I've got, and I always think it's good. It's really good debate point on these things. So you've got your homework, you've got your SEO preview, you've got to format your pages, making sure you are using the H1, H2 heading for the main subject of that particular page or course or funnel.